5 years ago, some of you may remember, at our 25th anniversary, we honored 25 of our community partners. Tonight, we decided to honor a different set of partners, equally important to our work: public officials, private and corporate foundations, and individual donors. I'd like now to ask Bob Rubin to return to the podium to help me present LISC's Lifetime Leadership Awards to some of the individuals and organizations that have been so critical to our work over the years. Did anyone tell you were going to do this? I guess not. So let me begin, since Bob doesn't seem to be ready. Let me start with the recently retired Missouri Senator Kit Bond.
We're back on track.
Okay. You remember this part?
Yep.
We are kind of a team here, aren't we? It's pathetic, though we are. Senator Bond's quarter-century of work in the Congress has had a significant impact on our work. Perhaps the best example of his contribution is the HUD Section 4 capacity building program for community-based nonprofit organizations. Senator Bond was the architect of this program in 1994 and remained its strongest and most reliable supporter in the Senate right up until his retirement this past December. Through numerous budget battles and changing political winds, he consistently led the effort to preserve and expand this enormously successful program. The result is that over $300 million has been made available to build the capacity and support the work of thousands of productive community development organizations across the country. Indeed, his legacy is not just in the halls of Congress, but in the many communities that are building a better future, in part because of him. Unfortunately, Senator Bond is traveling and could not be with us tonight, but we wanted to thank him anyway. Thank you so much, Senator Bond.
A longtime colleague of Kit Bond's, but from the other side of the aisle, Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island. What I'm about to say was not in my notes, but it struck me as something I want to say. I was in Washington for 6.5 years, and as our country faces the enormous problems and issues that we face, it seems to me that we have an immense stake, all of us, in having people in public service who are deeply thoughtful and have great seriousness of purpose. And in Senator Jack Reed, we have exactly such a leader, and I think it's something that all of us should be enormously grateful for. More specifically to the purposes of this evening, Senator Reed has been a strong voice for distressed communities and for the poor in our nation, unfortunately a cause for which there are too few voices. He has been a tremendous and consistent supporter of LISC and of LISC's Rhode Island program, which is one of our outstanding programs. And he has also been deeply involved in supporting the work of nonprofits, community development organizations across the country. He has worked on bringing together quality rental housing and a stable home ownership market to create healthy communities. He has been instrumental in connecting affordable housing, healthcare, and social services for veterans, especially homeless veterans, and he was talking at dinner about the work he does, the very important work he does today in visiting hospitals and seeing those who've sacrificed so much for our country. And he has advocated for innovative community safety programs and quality child care in underserved communities. Senator Reed has been a champion of LISC and has risen to the occasion when we have needed his help. And more broadly, he has helped fuel revitalization of communities throughout our country. It It is a truly great privilege, and in fact an honor, to have the opportunity to honor a truly outstanding leader at a time when our country so badly needs, as I said a moment ago, men and women of the caliber of Senator Jack Reed. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Senator from Rhode Island, Jack Reed.
Thank you, please. Thank you very much, please. Thank you. I will be brief as well as short. Michael, thank you for your leadership and your service. Mr. Secretary, thank you for those very kind words and for your distinguished service to this nation, which continues. And thank you so much. Thank you. Please. I know there are fellow elected officials that are here. Thank you for what you do, mayors and cabinet secretaries and others. I want to also thank my fellow honorees that will be announced shortly, in addition to Senator Bond, Dick and Lisa Cashin, and the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation. Congratulations. I particularly want to recognize the Rhode Islanders that are here. Chief of Police Dean Esserman of Providence, Rhode Island, who is now on the board of LISC. Jeannie Cola, Carla DeStefano, Richard Godfrey, Mark Lovejoy, Frank Shea, and Barbara Fields. Big hand for Barbara, who will soon be the Region 1 HUD director. And by my recollection, this is the largest contingent of Rhode Islanders to be in this building since the Rhode Island Regiment in the Civil War, if you were paying attention to the introduction. We are at a critical moment in our history, and one refrain is echoed throughout this entire evening, and that is, unless we can collaborate, cooperate, be innovative, we will not be able to face these great challenges. Fortunately for all of us, LISC for 30 years has been an example of that collaboration, that cooperation, that innovation, and they have transformed literally, as Peter pointed out in his remarks, the landscape of our cities. And central to this great vision has been the notion that housing is not about structures, it's about communities and relationships. And communities flourish not just because there's a place to live, but also because there's a place to be educated, a place to enjoy the community, and importantly, a place to work. And LISC has been at the heart of so much of the efforts to make our communities much more than simply structures, many of them 30 years ago decaying. We've seen it in Rhode Island, the Oneyville project, Riverside Gateway. It combined innovative thinking, the participation of our financial institutions, our large public corporations, our environmental organizations, and also the Providence Police Department, because it incorporated not just fixing up the houses, but also establishing a sense of community and purpose in place. This is all the result of what you've done for 30 years and what we have to continue to do. And let me just conclude with a special word for Senator Kit Bond. Michael was so eloquent and accurate about his contribution over many, many years to this nation. He was someone that I looked up to. Of course, that's most of the Senate. But truly partnered with. We did together some innovative work. He was the strongest and most articulate and most consistent voice to protect housing programs on the Appropriations Committee, along with Barbara Mikulski, my colleague from Maryland. So I understand why he's being honored, and I'm very grateful you chose me also. Thank you.